Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Nerd is a Word. Have you heard? Let me start with intros and introduce myself. My name is Ruben, or depending on how you follow me, if you follow me through Snapchat, Instagram, or Twitter, you might know me as Nestlink or Nestlink68. I am a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, and that only means, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm just gonna be straight up honest and tell my thoughts how it is. Not to mention a few curse words here and there that might get out, but if you're not, I usually censor myself. For those wondering, I was a corporal with supply, and my MOS was 3112 distribution. Basically, that says, hey, I'm the real deal, not somebody that's looking for stolen valor trying to say I'm somebody I'm not. I mean, seriously, nobody says they're supply and brags about it, you know what I'm saying? They always say that they're grunt or shoot people or, well, again, this is a family-friendly show. I just want to talk about that now. I want to keep this clean as possible. And for those who remember my old show, when we were on the radio, this is going to be the same as before. In fact, this is a brand new show all entirely. And for those wondering what that means, well, you'll soon see. But it's going to be like the old, for those who used to tune in my old show back when I used to be on radio, it's going to be like that, but a little bit differently. Our show's going to be a little longer, we're going to have more posts, and hopefully I can get you guys to, talk back to me. And I'll be glad to, respond to your questions and answers, or maybe one day I'll get one of you on the show. Excuse me. This show is all about things nerdy, whether the topic is games, comics, shows, and many more. And I hope it's, like I said before, as the show goes on, I hope some of you will look into what's mentioned, and maybe send a recommendation yourself. Maybe there's something that you might see me want I might be interested in. So maybe you have better general knowledge than I do, and I'll be glad to take what you say and maybe put it on the show one day. Or if you have some fun facts, I'll be glad to tell. So about the show, like I said before, the show will be have no political talks, nor will there be any accepting any trolls. I won't talk about drugs or guns unless it's specifically related to the topic at hand. Like, let's say, I don't know, Fortnite comes with a new gun. We're talking about that gun, but as far as real guns, no. I believe everyone's entitled to their opinions, and with mine, just know you don't have to agree with me. Now that we got it out of the way, let's talk about our first topic, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you all seen the new trailer for the upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem movie, but I, for one, am super hyped. I grew up watching and reading about our turtles in Half Shell. Turtle power, am I right? In fact, my favorite turtle is Raphael. I actually have a turtle, named Raphael. I've also named a turtle named Venus de Milo, but if you're a fan of Ninja Turtles, you would totally get that. Raphael, for those you don't know, is the red turtle who's a side-wielding one. He had the three, they look like forks with three, just for those that you don't know who the turtle is. But when I seen the trailer, I was smiling from ear to ear. The whole thing made me laugh. I was dying, and the whole animation reminded me of the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse movie that came out back in 2019, right? And that movie already was amazing. So the way this movie looks, and not to mention the fact that the movie's worked under by Seth Rogen. And we all know Seth Rogen by now. Pineapple Express, Sausage Party. Hell, he even gives the TV show The Boys on Amazon Prime. Which, if you like fucked up superheroes in a political and media-based society, and I would say give it a watch. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, but it actually was worth a watch. I will say for the movie, though, I am hyped for how the cast looks. Excuse me, how they sound. They're going to sound, and just everything about the Turtles, and they look and sound like teenagers, which is great, because I grew up watching Ninja Turtles, and most of the time they sound like adults, or look like buff-ass dudes. And then I seen that they have Bebop and Rocksteady, but instead of the Krang, we're getting Utroms. So, I mean, if those who don't know what Krang is, if you watch the Age cartoons, you're probably not going to hear, Shredder! That's how he sounds. And if you watch the 80s cartoon, and then I've seen an Easter egg when April was talking to Turtles, too. If you all never noticed, rewatch the trailer, and the part where she's talking to Turtles and they talk about the ooze, there's a sign that says, the Laird. And that right there is reference, or an Easter egg to the non-creator of Ninja Turtles, Peter Laird. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Ninja Turtles, so... I love Turtles all together, so, and here's the thing, though. Speaking of April O'Neil, I actually didn't know that there was complaints about her. I don't know about you all. To be honest, I'm not really sure what the complaint's about. I can't tell if it's because of her race or the way she looks, but honestly, I personally don't care. I don't know about you all, but, I mean, like I said, the movie's gonna look fantastic, and let's be honest, we all judge something before we see it. We all judged Heath Ledger before he became the Joker. We all judged Rob Pattinson before he became Batman. Yeah, I'm using Batman references, but... I'm just saying, let's give this one a chance. And the best part about this whole movie is, it comes on my birthday month. Like I said, the movie already looks more amazing than what Michael Bay gave us twice, and he screwed that franchise over twice. But as far as that goes, I'm excited. Speaking of more Turtle news, we actually might get a video game based on the Last Ronin series, which is also another Ninja Turtle 4-issue series that was created by Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. They came back to work together to make this one series together. And the story about that one is basically is that out of all of the turtles and Master Splinter and everybody in the whole, only one turtle survived. I'm not going to go into details what exactly happens, and I will say the turtle that did survive, well, I wasn't surprised. I was very surprised when I saw who it was, out of all the turtles that it could have been, but I've only read, now I can't say I've read all 4 books yet, but I've read only 3 of the 4 books so far. I'm sorry, I'm too broke and poor, and I don't have a car to go get the last issue. But as the 3 I did read were, wow, phenomenal. I couldn't stop reading it, and I know how each turtle dies, and how the father dies, and who else is, basically KO'd in that whole series. I would recommend it. It's really dark, and if we get a video game based on that series alone, I can only imagine what they can do with it. I mean, it could be an R-rated video game, or rated M for mature, right? Like, the whole series is about death. There's blood, there's fighting. There's no way they can make this kid-friendly. So, that's as far as much as I know about the game that's coming out. I really don't have any more information at the time. So hopefully as time goes on, we will have more information about that. And I'm really hoping to see if they do stay true to the comic books. I mean, I would love to see flashbacks of the turtles and how, playing as the 4 turtles instead of just one. Or I want to know if he has all the abilities of the other turtles, because he did do some training. Anyways. But yeah, like I said, hopefully we can get more information soon. Now, let me ask, has anyone ever heard of my man Scott Pilgrim? Maybe you've seen the movie, or read the books, or now just realizing Scott Pilgrim has a graphic novel series. The series is 6 books long, and they have references to games and music. And the 3rd book is actually called Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness. If you love the Smashing Pumpkins like me, you should get the reference, because as the album itself, Scott Pilgrim and the Infinite Sadness, is actually a pun on the Smashing Pumpkins album Melancholy in the Infinite Sadness. In fact, Scott wears a shirt that has SP on it with a heart. It's a well-known shirt by anybody who's a fan of Scott Pilgrim, but if you actually know, it's actually a Smashing Pumpkins shirt. And he has a Zero shirt representing 1, that he's the Zero X, and 2, it's also another reference to Smashing Pumpkins. And then Scott Pilgrim will also be made into an anime soon. Well, not much is known about when we're getting it, but it's going to be on Netflix. And what I was told, the cast for the movie will be reprising the roles. That's right, the whole cast. And as well as the band Anamanaguchi, who did the soundtrack for the Scott Pilgrim game, will be doing the soundtrack for the series as well. Now that is more good news to know. I already lost it when they said the cast for the movie will be turning. I mean, seriously, the creator Brian Lee O'Malley must be really enjoying all the love Scott is getting. Especially since he really, the whole thing about Scott Pilgrim is all about love, So, I mean, I for one am excited. I can't wait. Scott Pilgrim the anime, I mean, like I said, the fact that they have the cast returning, and it's only been 10 years since the movie first came out, so I'm glad Scott Pilgrim is coming out. In fact, I'm such a huge fan of Scott Pilgrim, I even have a Ramona plushie that I used to have from when, I have a whole thing of Scott Pilgrim stuff. Maybe one day I'll show you all, so. Now, let me talk about the final hero in green that I wish to talk about. One of my favorite personal heroes for the upcoming sequel to Breath of the Wild. Let's talk about The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. We're only a few months away from what looks to be such a great game already. My favorite game of the series was Majora's Mask, is Majora's Mask. I'm not gonna say was, because it is. I love the game so much that I actually cosplayed as the Fierce Deity Link. If you know who that is, he's my favorite Link of all of them, because he was basically a god, and I cosplayed as him. One of my favorites. I love the sword that he has. It's like a double helix blue and green sword. One of the favorite parts of the game was the fact that you could change races and replay bosses. Like you could be the Goron, the Deku, the Zora, or just Link. And like I said, the Fierce Deity, he was super badass. Like I said, just takes down all the bosses with a few hits. Like I said before, I do cosplay, and as you saw, the Fierce Deity, I also cosplayed as Link from Ocarina of Time. If you all would like to hear more stories about cosplays or the cons I would like to have been to, or like to know more about cosplay in general, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to talk more in the future. As far as the game, let's say we've seen the trailer and the gameplay, just seeing the new features that we get to play with the way the game looks. I only wonder if there's going to be any save features. If you had the game, if you had Breath of the Wild, you get a cool, super secret chest or something. Or I love that they would bring back the whole, use your amiibos and you can get the costumes again. I worked just bristly hard playing that game, trying to get the Fierce Deity outfit, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cheated, just, saving after I got a chest, fast forwarding a day ahead, redoing the tag until I got the right one, just keep saving until I got what I wanted, so it took a bit, but still, you get the point. The game comes out in May, hopefully by then, we'll have more, I'll be able to get hands on it so we can talk about it more, or maybe if you guys get it before me and want to tell me how it is, by all means, I would love to hear from you guys. Now, I'm going ahead and end the show now, and like I said, I just hope to hear some of you responses from you, some of you back. I'll mention you on a coming show, maybe. Are you excited about what's coming like me? Let me know until then. If this has been a wonderful time meeting you all, and hopefully, like I said, I'm sorry this is my very first episode, so be nice and be gentle. I'm still learning as we go along. Once again, my name is Ruben, or maybe you can call me as Nestling, and I will see you all later.